Hello everyone, I am Subhayu and welcome you all to the AMCAT Guide Series 2025. So today's video we will be discussing the content which was allocated to week 2 of yours. Okay. So back in week 1 we had discussed English, logical reasoning and quantitative aptitude. So after discussing those, I had even uploaded a practice sheet in the Google Drive. Okay, so all the materials whose PDFs are made by me, I have shared those in the Google Drive. I hope you access them well. Is it clear? So in our today's video, we'll be discussing programming, automata fix, and computer science. Now, today's video, as the topics suggest, is going to be a very domain specific one. So, recommend ki please be very careful with all the topics being discussed, that is, be thorough with them. And in case you have any doubts in one of the topics, because all of the topics are very, broad, okay? Though here I have just given a brief part of it or a chunk of it, but in real life or in the coding realm, they have a very big implication. So if you want, you can even refer to those in Geeks for Geeks or other good websites, reliable websites. Okay. So I'll just give you a brief overview based on what's important from the exams point of view. So सबसे पहले क्या है data types and operators, and let me tell you, programming जो ये fourth वाला part है, this is fully based on whatever you learnt till your second semester. Okay, in ITPS and basic data structures using C++, whatever you have learned, programming domain takes into account those only. Data types and operators. What are data types? Data types are the, they are indicators of what kind of data is the variable holding. And the different types of operators: arithmetic, relational, logical, assignment, and bitwise. Tip: understand precedence of these are higher than the precedence of normal ones like plus, minus, etc. So precedence and associativity are two important things you need to keep in mind. Then we have conditional statements like if, else, else if, then switch case and ternary operator. Okay, so these are the various conditional statements. अब conditional statements हमें कहाँ help करती है? Conditional statements help us in, like if CGP is greater than 7.5, then scholarship retained, else scholarship gone. वैसी टाइम्स में हमें कंडीशनल स्टेटमेंट्स हेल्प करती है. नाउ ऑफ कोर्स फॉर these trivial things you won't use these conditional statements, but they have a lot of use cases. Okay, example: if salary greater than 30,000, print ki bonus will be given, else no bonus will be given. Then we have loops: for, while, and do while. Okay, so these are the three loops which run according to their own uses. For example, for best when the number of iterations is known. Example: for I less than 11 or for I less than equal to 10. Okay, so that helps us to determine ki how many times the loop will run. While checks the condition before executing. Example: while I less than y I is less than 10, print I. So it will print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And finally, do while executes at least once. Okay, because while की condition check करके do will return a certain value. So that way do while works at least once. Okay, break and continue. Break exits the loop early. Continue skips to the next iteration. What are functions? Function is a reusable block of code. Okay. Int sum of int a, int b, then return a plus b. So what are we doing here? The parameters. Here we are, declaring them, or making space for them. Ki yes, these will be required later in our function or code. And what are we doing inside the curly braces? We're writing about what will be done, okay, to them. Then we have parameters which are passed by value or reference, and recursion, a function calling itself. Always define the base case for recursion to avoid infinite calls. So it's a very mandatory thing. And if you guys remember, both in first and second sum of yours, I had sent videos for one shot, that is for revision of C and C++. In both of them, I have explained about all these topics. So good for you if you are now feeling more confident कि okay, programming section तो हो जाएगा अपने से. Because really I'm telling कि you don't need to be strong in all the 11 subsections of AMCAT, okay? Even if one or two you do well, that's enough नैया पार लगाने के लिए, I'm telling you. Because I myself was not so sharp in coding and all till second semester. Still, my result was good enough to fetch me to the Cargill batch, though denied it. Arrays and strings. Array is a fixed size, same type collection, that is int r of 5 equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. String and strings in C and C++. So strings are what? Strings are basically, representation of text characters. Okay. Structures and pointers. Structure आपको first sem में मिला था in unit 3 and in second sem you used it for visualizing linked lists. Okay, that is to initialize the data and next pointers. And pointer, it stores address of another variable. Now look, I am just pointer क्या करता है? Pointer also I've explained previously, it just holds the address of another variable. Okay, so next thing I think OOP concepts, encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism. कैप्सूल तो पता ही होगा. कैप्सूल क्या करता है? जो बिखरा हुआ टैबलेट का पाउडर होगा, कैप्सूल उसको इकट्ठा करता है. It brings it all together. Similarly, encapsulation encapsulates the entire code into a single block. Inheritance, one child class inherits from another parent class. अगर हमारे in a particular class we have certain details which need to be repeatedly used in certain subsequent classes, instead of copy pasting them continuously, what we do is we inherit them. Okay, we kind of provide a pointer to them. So that's inheritance. And polymorphism is same function behaves differently. Now, you, the person over the screen watching this video, you are a child to your parents, you are a junior or a friend to me, you are a student to Chandigarh University, you are an examinee to the examination you are appearing for. So, you are you only. Okay. आप change नहीं हो रहे. But what's changing is your functionality towards everyone. What's changing is your liability and your responsibility to everyone. The responsibility you have towards me is not the one you have towards your parents or anybody. Okay? All are different, all are adequate to a certain extent. Okay? Similarly, functions be exhibit different properties while dealing under different situations. Now, stacks, queues and linked list, the third unit of your second semester. So stack क्या है? LIFO, queue, FIFO and linked list, nodes with a data and next pointer. So LIFO क्या है? Imagine you have a bottle, okay? 2 liter kind of bottle which is kept straight. अब उसमें 4 balls की capacity है. So like you just keep 4 balls inside or 3 balls. Okay, like 3.5 balls की capacity है. So what you do is 3 balls तो comfortably आ गए, but चौथा ball अभी आ नहीं पा रहा. So what will happen? The ball which enters the last, it bounces and exits the first. Okay, last in but first out. So straight bottle which is kept at the ground, of course, otherwise the ball आके नीचे से भी निकल सकता था, but no, that's not the case. So last in first out, that's a stack. And queue में क्या होगा? Same bottle को 90 degree घुमा दो and there's no wall on either side. Okay, now what will happen? जब वो first ball आएगा, it will push the other balls and the other balls will finally push the ball at the rightmost. That is the ball which came first that will now move outside. Okay, so that's the concept of FIFO. So you can see it as some bias in airport queues as well. Like imagine you are standing in an airport queue for a certain amount of time and then a celebrity appears. Ki, hey, I need to take my boarding pass faster, so let me barge in. So that's an example of LIFO because he literally enters the last, but he takes his required things and exits first. And FIFO is you who entered first and exited first if there is no such bias. Okay, so that's the basic notion of stack queues and linked lists. Searching and sorting algorithms, linear binary search, and bubble is selection and insertion sort. So look, I am not delving very deep into all the concepts, okay, because I don't want this video to be unnecessarily long. I just want कि आप मेरे साथ, as I keep speaking, you listen to what I say. Okay, you listen and understand, because even if you don't see this video while I'm speaking, my speech is enough to embed the topics in your mind. Okay, so because ultimately I am agreeing, I don't teach like those professional YouTubers out there, and because I don't have the setup, neither do I have the time, because I have certain other chores to do. I have to guide my own batchmates for their internship too, and ultimately my vacation is also going on, so accordingly I need to adjust time here as well, need to give some time to family. Polymorphism. Okay, so I'm just briefing you through all these concepts pretty well. And what feels these three types of sorting also you have done in your second semester as well as first. Bubble sort, what it does, it is compares and swaps adjacent elements. Selection sort is it selects the minimum and swaps. And insertion sort is insert each into the sorted part. Time and space complexity, how runtime grows with input size. ओके, अब आपको एक फ्रेंच फ्राई दिया, आपको खाने में कम टाइम लगेगा, लाइक लिटरली यू विल जस्ट बाइट इट इन 1 second. But I give you a sandwich, now you take a bit more time to consume it. Now in place of a sandwich, if you take a burger instead, it would take even more time. Okay, or a pizza. So based on their size, the input size, the time also, the runtime also grows, right? Similarly, space complexity is the extra space used by the algorithm. So always prefer lower complexity for large inputs. Okay. Now basic debugging. So what's a bug? A bug is basically a problem which crops up into your code. So debugging means removing the bug, and first for removing you need to identify it, right? So first you have to trace the values of the variables step by step. You need to look for uninitialized variables. Example, you are using int y. So next line y equal to x square, but it gives an error. Why? Because you later see you had never initialized x at all. You never wrote int x at the beginning or inception. Then wrong loop conditions. So loop conditions में भी गलतियां हो जाती है अक्सर. Off by one errors in arrays and infinite loops or recursion. So of course while writing big codes you tend to make small mistakes. बड़ी बड़ी codes में छोटी छोटी गलतियां होती रहती है. But that shouldn't stop you. And to save you from that, we have basic debugging to the rescue. So we can, there are certain compilers we can get in the internet which can help us to track our execution step by step. Okay. Now, programming के questions भी है इधर. So I hope you'll go through them well and you'll get an idea of how to tackle such questions. Okay. These are pretty, basic as such, because you all had already appeared for your C++ exam just a month back. Today's 24th June. On 26th May you had your C++ exam. So there also ऐसे ही questions थे. So I don't think it should be much of a problem. So this section was all about, once again I'm repeating, your first and second semesters ITPS and BDS using C++ knowledge. Also, in your third semester, specialization students will have a subject data structures, and general CSC you're having advanced data structures and algorithms. So these topics are going to be revised to you before your AMCAT exam as well. So don't you worry, it's just a continuation. Okay. Now coming to the fifth part of your AMCAT war, that is Automata Fix. Firstly, what is automata or automation? Automation is the application of technology to minimize human input in tasks and processes, often by using machines. Wait a second, let me share. Yes, I hope it's visible. Hmm. Automation is the application of technology to minimize human input in tasks and processes, often by using machines, software, or other systems to perform actions automatically. Okay, so basically, automation क्या है? You automatically allow the machine to do certain tasks. Example, आप एक कंपनी में काम करते हो एंड उधर आपका जॉब ये है कि टू filter out certain things from the company database as and when required. So imagine एक दिवाली का ऑफर है where you will give a special bonus to salary like to employees whose salary is below 25,000 rupees. उनको 10% extra मिलेगा. So what you do is you like you have to like personally आपको पूरे कंपनी के डेटाबेस को स्कैन करना है एंड यू नीड टू फाइंड दोज पीपल आउट जिनकी सैलरी इज लेस देन 25,000. अब पहले दिनों में देयर वर नो like until these SQL and DBMS were not so trending, people had to do those using Excel or using manually. Like ये 29,000 है इसको नहीं मिलेगा, ये 25,000 है इसको नहीं मिलेगा, 23,000 है इसको मिलेगा, etc. Okay, but once automation came into handle, now you can simply run a SQL query, SQL, MySQL. So that also DBMS is a subject in both data, AI, ML, other specializations as well as general CSC. So in DBMS also you'll get certain queries. So what happened is later DBMS came to a rise. Or DBMS में क्या हुआ? By a single line of code it replaced the human being. कि select star from the table employees where salary is less than 25,000. Up imagine you are yourself scanning 900 employees and finding out कि manually कि किसकी salary is less than 25,000. अब अगर हर एम्प्लॉय का भी स्कैन करने में आपको 30 सेकेंड्स लगे, ओके, सो आपको दैट इज 450 एम्प्लॉयज की करनी है फिर तो दैट विल टेक अबाउट 450 बाय 60, दैट इज वेट अ सेकेंड 45 बाय 6, 45 बाय 6, दैट इज 7.5 आवर्स, 7.5 घंटे लग जाएंगे आपको वो काम करने में. But what? MySQL will just do it in 10 minutes. Not even 10 minutes. 1 minute. 1 minute या कुछ seconds में आपको वो result दे देगा as an जो एक आदमी 7.5 घंटों में करता. 900 employees. So that's why we can say that automation is gradually taking over us. And that's scary too, but one way it's making human beings comfortable too. अब controversial कहो या मेरा अपना perception कहो, I do feel sometimes कि कहीं ये हमारा help करते करते हमें ही बर्बाद ना कर दे. Who knows? Anyways, coming back to the context कि because ultimately अगर jobs ही नहीं रहे तो इतना AMCAT वामकैट दे के फायदा क्या होगा? Ultimately, if there are no jobs left to do, there are 80,000 plus engineers waiting for jobs, placements, but AI is literally taking over everything. Next, we have logical errors. So, in automata, क्या है? Sorry, what is automata? So, basically, automata मैंने समझाया automation. Automation से आता है automata. So in the automata section of AMCAT, you have to write certain codes. जैसे अभी मैंने एसक्यूएल वाले एग्जांपल में कोड आपको दिया ना, एक लाइन ऑफ कोड कि सिलेक्ट स्टार फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉय. नाउ दिस लाइन की मीनिंग यू विल अंडरस्टैंड लेटर व्हेन यू लर्न डीबीएमएस कि व्हाट डज दिस स्टेटमेंट मीन. बट फॉर नाउ एक कोडिंग की ही लाइन है ना. So select star. So that's automata. That is a line or a bunch of lines of code which give you a certain result which reduces human efforts or tasks. So automata fix में आपको क्या करना होगा कि आपको एक कोड दिया रहेगा. Now automata is also part of your AMCAT exam, but that is there to be discussed in the fourth week. In second week, that is today, we'll just discuss automata fix कि एक कोड में गिवन जो कोड है उसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स है, आप उन प्रॉब्लम्स को आइडेंटिफाई करो और हो सके तो सॉल्व भी करो. सो दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन द क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड. अब एक चीज ध्यान से समझ लो, ऑटोमेटा फिक्स में आपको एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चन मिलेगा, बट ऑटोमेटा में आपको पूरा कोड मैनुअली लिखना पड़ेगा. Okay, in Automata Fix, you are just given a particular code and you're given four options कि either identify कि गलती कौन से statement पे है या what will be the correction of a particular mistake. So those we'll discuss as we come across the sample questions of this section. But in Automata, you won't be given MCQs. There you have to type manually your code. And there will be two questions. And code वैसा नहीं कि sort this array using binary sort. Sorry, binary search or insertion sort. Key 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Those are gone. Those are for CU exams only. Code you will get is, like Rob is working as a full stack developer. Now he needs to write a C program to literally they will give a out of the mind task which I've never heard before, and that you have to code. So I'll give you certain websites like HackerRank or LeetCode. So those of you already know about them and you practice coding there, that's very good. That's excellent. But those of you who do not know, please go there and practice certain questions. Because last year July, I myself did a few, and that helped me in doing well in MCAT. Like however much I did. So automata is a bit difficult and we'll ace that as well. But I strongly recommend you start practicing in HackerRank or LeetCode before starting with automata directly. And now coming to automata fix कि what can be the errors. जैसे logical errors हो सकती है कि code compiles but gives incorrect output. So common causes क्या है? Wrong formula or operation. Example using equal to instead of double equal to. Yeah, this is the most common thing. If x equal to 5, print anything. Why? X double equal to 5 hoga because equal to is, you know, equal to is not for this. Double equal to actually checks if things are equal. Single equal to is not. That's the basic question. इनकरेक्ट लूप लिमिट्स और काउंटर्स. आपको 10 तक वैल्यू लेनी है बट इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग आई लेस देन इक्वल टू 10 you use I less than 10. That is not helping you in any manner. And misplaced conditions or returns. Returning the wrong values. आपको चाहिए कुछ और आप रिटर्न कुछ और करवा रहे हो. कैसे भाई? How? That won't work. So that's about logical errors. Syntax errors. Code doesn't compile due to language rule violations. अब हर लैंग्वेज के अपनी कुछ रूल्स होती है. C, C++, Python, everything you have done. So you must know it already. So violating those rules can lead to syntax errors. So code doesn't compile due to language rule violations. जैसे missing semicolon, parenthesis or curly braces. This is the most common one. Half the time you just forget to even place the brackets. Then misspelled keywords. Sometimes writing big codes it does happen. It's very legible to forget, make mistakes in the spellings. That's not a big issue. Accepted, no problem. Wrong function or method structure. The only thing is make errors, make many errors, no problem. Just correct them before executing it. And Automata Fix is exactly to teach you how to do that. Infinite loops. Kabhi kabhi while declaring recursive functions, you do not mention the base case. And that's where it just throttles your code. So incorrect conditions. Code takes wrong path or skips logic blocks. Example using equal to instead of double equal to in if condition. Wrong relational operator sometimes we can use. Just say we need n less than 10, but somehow we write n greater than 10. Missing else or faulty nested if blocks and using or and is needed. So sometimes wrong variable usage. So look, this automata fix part में हमको पढ़ना उतना है नहीं कुछ. Okay, here just the common types of errors I've written कि क्या errors हो सकती है and what you need to look out. So what you will do is just see the headlines and be aware कि ऐसे ऐसे errors हो सकती है आपके कोड में. Okay, so what is the general strategy. आपको जो 7 automata के questions मिलेंगे automata fix. Also ऑटोमेटा फिक्स इज द ओनली सेक्शन जहां आपको कोई ऑप्शन नहीं मिल रहे कि डू एनी 5 या डू एनी 4. नो, out of the 7 you have to do all the 7 questions. There's no relaxation. So be very thorough with the general strategy to solve automata fix questions. Firstly, read the code completely before fixing. Break the code into parts, functions, loops and conditionals. Trace variables for small input manually. जैसे कोई कोड है, आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा गलती कहाँ है, तो आप मेंटली 0 या 1 के लिए कोड को टेस्ट करके देखो कि इज इट वर्किंग और नॉट. इफ इट डजंट वर्क देन ट्रेस कहाँ गलती हुई है. चेक कंट्रोल फ्लो. कभी कभी इफ एल्स लूप्स में हम गलती कर बैठते हैं. Okay, statements like for, do, while, etc. Eliminate options that are syntactically wrong or break cycle logic. तो जो आपका logic को they destroyed, automatically eliminate those options and always validate edge cases. What are edge cases? Edge cases means the cornermost cases. Okay, so let's see. I'll just show one example. What is wrong with the what is wrong in the following code? Int main, int x equal to 10, printf percentage d comma x return 0. Int should be float, missing semicolon after int x equal to 10. Printf should not take any arguments or variable x is undeclared. So as such the answer is pretty obvious. That is option B कि इधर semicolon है ही नहीं, which should it be there. Correct option. C requires semicolons after every statement. The code won't compile without it. Missing semicolon after int x equal to 10. Okay. So this way आपको छोटी छोटी questions या बड़े codes भी दे सकते हैं because questions are different for all students. Fix and find the logic error. Int age equal to 18. If age equal to 18, printf adult. Use double equal to instead of single equal to. Remove the if block, declare age as float, or use greater than equal to instead of equal to equal to. Here, option A is correct. Age you double equal to 18. What's problem in the following code? Int I equals to 0. Then while I less than 5, print percentage di. Condition is wrong. Loop variable not updated. Print statement should be outside the loop or I should start from 1. अब देखो आई प्रिंट तो हो गया बट इसके बाद आई प्लस प्लस कहाँ है. प्लस प्लस या आई प्लस इक्वल टू 1 लिखना तो पड़ेगा वरना हाउ विल द लूप गेट अपडेटेड. So I is never incremented in this code. So the condition I less than 5 is always true and it causes an infinite loop. You have to write I plus plus after such cases. Okay. So identify the issue. Int r of 5 equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sum equal to 0. For I equal to 1, I less than equal to 5, I plus plus. Sum not initialized, loop should run from 0 to 4. 0 to 4 होगा ना, because I is the index, I is not the element. Okay. And even here, I less than equal to 5 नहीं, I less than 5 होगा. Because ultimately ARR of 4 equals to 5. Okay. Let's see if B is the correct option. Yes. Loop should run from 0 to 4. C arrays are 0 indexed. That is, ARR of 5 is out of bounds and it leads to undefined behavior. Question 5. Find the bug. In factorial intent, if n equal to 0, colon missing, return 1. Factorial, this. Again int men, print this, return 0. Okay. It's like, okay. It's not missing, they just didn't give that curly braces. But they should, as such. I don't know why they didn't. Function doesn't return the result of recursion. Right, here आपको return तो देना पड़ेगा ना कि return this. That is not being given. Function, the recursive calls result must be returned. Example, return factorial n minus 1 into n. So that's all about Automata Fix, guys. कि आपको ऐसे 7 wrong codes मिलेंगे और आपको उन्हें debug करना है कि कोड में गलती क्या है. अब तक आपके टीचर्स आपकी कोड्स में गलती ढूंढते थे. अब आपको दिए गए कोड्स में गलती ढूंढनी है. Uno reverse. Okay. Now coming to our last section for today, that is computer science. 20 questions, 20 minutes. Attempt minimum 8. Okay. So data structures, arrays, contiguous memory, fixed size, linked list, stacks, queues. So till queues it's all clear कि हमने ये सब तो सेकेंड सेम में कर ही लिया था. array, stacks, queue, linked list. Okay. In unit 2 and 3 of basic data structures using C++ and section 4 of today, that is programming. Now coming to trees. What is a tree? A tree is a hierarchical structure, root, parent, child. Binary tree, each node has less than 2 children, and BST, left less than root less than right, and traversal, in order, pre-order, post-order. Just a moment. Now trees is a very vast topic. I can't explain the whole topic. Still, I'm trying jitna ho sake, I'm trying to explain. Just a moment. Tree is such a data structure. जैसे इधर एक नंबर है, सोचो 1. 1 के अंदर there are two roots. Example, this is 2 and this is 3. Again 2 के अंदर there are 3 roots. So circles draw नहीं कर रहा मैं फिलहाल. 4, 5, 6 and 3 has 7, 8. Ab this data structure is called a tree. What are the keywords in a tree? It is non-linear. This is not in a straight line. Okay, it's hierarchical or level wise. अब इसमें root है ये. Why is this the root? 1 the root? Because 1 से ही पूरा tree originate कर रहा है. Root. Okay, or these individual numbers are called the nodes. Nodes. So there are many nodes and रूट हर नोड जो एक लेवल नीचे रहेगा, this will become a child node and the above one will become a parent node. This is a parent and these are its children. One, there is 2 and 3 are the children to parents. One parent again. 4, 5, 6 are the children and 2 is the parent. So this is like a polymorphism. Okay, different roles. Okay. Now, this is all about thing. And what's a binary tree? Each node has टू और लेस देन टू, जैसे अगर ये एक नोड है, सॉरी, इफ दिस इज अ नोड 7, 7 के दो चिल्ड्रन है, 8 and 9. So this is a binary tree because it has less than equal to two children. अगर हम 8 को कंसिडर ना भी करें कि 7 का रूट जस्ट एक बच्चा है, that is 9, that is also valid. But if we include a third thing, that is 10, there will be three children and it won't be a binary tree anymore. Okay, so that's it. And for more details, I recommend ki you actually go through Geeks for Geeks or some other website, because trees is a kind of vast topic. So you're covering everything in this short time is not, technically possible. So still, I tried giving you the basic idea about trees. Okay, now traversals are also there: in order, pre-order, post-order. So you will get those. And now what are graphs? So basically a third semester के syllabus में है, that is specialization people will get in unit 3 and general ones will get in unit 1 or 2. Graph क्या है? Graph is basically another data structure like this. Like literally any shape you draw is a graph. Just a moment. But graphs are very essential in computer science. Why? Because of algorithms. Certain algorithms find their origin just because of graph. What is this? Imagine this is a map, okay? Just imagine. So this is A ka ghar, this is A's house, this is B's house, this is C's house, and this is D's house. Now to find the shortest distance between any two houses, so as such we can see that A is the closest to B. But uh, just a moment. But if I say कि find कि किन दोनों का sum will be the least, AB plus BD, BD plus CD, AC plus CD, or AC plus AB, or AB plus CD or AC plus BD. Now I know this sounds very confusing, but ऐसी situations को handle करने के लिए we have this new data structure called graphs. After arrays, stacks, and queues, now we have trees and graphs, two more siblings to the data structures family. So arrays में क्या है? Nodes or vertices, like a wait, let me represent this with a different color. Yes, we have nodes or vertices and connections or edges. So these are the nodes: A, B, C, D. These are the nodes. And what are the vertices? This A, B, sorry, edges, B, D, C, D, A, C, these are the edges. Edge. Okay, so now these are represented by adjacency list or matrix and traversal breadth first search and depth first search. Now, as I said, these topics are very, like आप लोगों को arrays समझने में 2 semesters लग गए. Now you cannot expect me to explain these huge topics in just 5 minutes. So though I gave you a basic idea कि graphs क्या है, क्यों है, but you have to, in order to understand in detail, you need to study more. Okay, so let me clear this off and we move on. But don't you worry, like there are lots of content and materials about every such thing. I'll share if possible. Now, moving on to the next topic, that is algorithms. For searching and sorting, we know the algorithm. So, sometime back only we studied, right? For programming. If for searching, we have linear search and binary search. For sorting, we have bubble sort, insertion sort, and selection sort. Now, in third semester, you will come across two more sorting techniques, which are merge sort and quick sort. Okay. इन दोनों का बेसिक मैकेनिज्म क्या है? मर्ज सॉर्ट एंड क्विक सॉर्ट, कि if you have an array, imagine 5 elements, 2, 3, 4. Now they will recursively break the array down into smaller elements. ना एक particular element को choose कर लेते हैं. Example this one. Okay, like let's give certain values such as 7, 6, 2, 4 and 5. So in दोनों in quick sort and merge sort we choose a certain element. Example हमने इधर सोचो 2 को choose कर लिया and we divide the array into two other halves, 7, 6 and 4, 5. Okay. Now what we do? Again we divide them into single elements. कि अब हमारे single elements क्या हो जाएंगे? अगर इससे हमने further subdivide किया तो then we'll have 7 and 6 and either we'll have 4 and 5. Right? It's like breaking a huge dairy milk into smaller pieces. अब क्या? अब हम इन्हें जोड़ेंगे. Now we'll merge them. But how? Now अगर हम 6 और 7 को जोड़ेंगे तो ascending order में क्या आएगा? If we merge 6 and 7, then in ascending order we'll get 6. Wait a second, it went out of bound. Sorry. Now इधर हमारे elements क्या है? We have individual elements 7 and 6. In ascending order it will be 6 comma 7, right? So we have one joined array, and 4 and 5 if we arrange in ascending order we'll have 4 comma 5. Now if we join them, what will be the ascending order? 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6 and 7 if we join them. And हमारा एक एलिमेंट जिसे हमने स्टार्टिंग में ही डिस्कार्ड कर दिया था, दैट इज 2. ओके, सो सॉरी, दिस इज लुकिंग लाइक अ हैप्पी होली थिंग. सो नाउ व्हाट, हमने स्टार्टिंग में 2 को अलग से लग दिया था एंड नाउ वी हैव 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now if we join them both, finally we get the sorted array, that is 2, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So that is a basic idea of how merge sort and quick sort work. Okay. Complexity. So time complexity मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले आप सबको समझाया था using the example, just like that example. जैसे जैसे हमारा input size grow करता है, similarly our time complexity also grows. It's literally very simple कि आपको एक assignment दिया है लिखने. So if you have just 2 questions, you can literally finish it in half an hour. If you have 5 questions, 1 hour. If you have, kind of big questions, you might even take a day. So similarly, more the input size, greater is the time complexity. Next is DBMS, SQL basics, select, insert, update, delete, etc. Okay, so now normalization is there, transactions, acid properties, keys, so many things. Okay, so what is SQL? Wait, let me see if I can explain with a practical example. Just a moment. Okay, to familiarize you all with the basic things, now I am sharing a small part because, of course, explaining the whole of SQL won't be possible, just the basics. So, what is SQL used for? MySQL or DBMS is basically used for dealing with huge databases. Okay, what is a database? Database is collection of a amount of data, certain amount of data. So now, just a moment, we have certain keywords. Example: select, star, from. If we give select star from this customers, okay, we have this table customers, and we run this SQL, we'll get all the data in this thing, okay. Now अगर आपको पूरा टेबल चाहिए कस्टमर्स का, then you'll get this whole table. But if you want कि हमें बस एज 25 के नीचे वालों का चाहिए डेटा, so we can even impose certain conditions such as where age is less than 25. Run SQL, okay, and you can be very specific with DBMS, like where age less than 25 and uh, first country equal to USA. Run SQL, no such column USA. Why? Run SQL. So errors आपको इधर भी मिलेंगी. Now how to deal with errors? This way, because USA is a string और आपको strings ऐसे दिखाने हैं. Now I know this is a bit rushed up thing, but actually I can't really help because hmm, SQL is a very big topic. That's why you are given an entire semester to learn this subject. So not at all, it's really possible to cover in one particular video. And I just give you one suggestion guys कि आप लोग ना अभी वन शॉट प्लीज मत देखो डीबीएमएस के, because you won't understand it. Okay, I'm just keeping it straightforward, because though the subject is relatively easy, but it's easy to study across a semester, not across 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, crash courses might help and not everyone also, because this इधर से hardly एक question आएगा, and एक question के लिए I don't think you need to study 3 weeks. So relax. आपका वो आपके क्लास स्टार्ट होंगे 15 जुलाई को. Even then when the classes will begin, however much will be taught, that would be enough. Okay, so that's all about DBMS. Okay, it's like these, you can just read the definitions. Then we have operating systems. Same goes to operating systems. Okay, like let me see if I get the syllabus once, because operating system is also for general CSC. This is a subject which आपको 5th semester में मिलेगा, or AIML or other specializations you will get in 3rd semester, so you all will have a bit of idea. So I personally recommend कि आप इन parts पे उतना focus मत करो, because these are very detailed topics. These are literal algorithms of 3rd unit level. Okay, so even if you start now, you won't be able to cover or understand them wholly, because I'm not accusing you or anything. I'm just stating facts. Because now you're consumed with social internship, and trust me, they won't stop, just giving you tasks. Once you're done with social internship, they'll start giving you assignments on it, or they'll ask for final report, this, that, give you a video, etc. So you won't be able to focus well. So what I mean to say basically is just focus on the key terms, focus on programming section or the data structure section of this particular part. Okay, and बाकी definitions के लिए it's fine. You just copy paste these things and look up for them. You will get certain things. Okay. Now, like, because one shot videos exist, okay, but one shots are beneficial for those parts which you have already studied in detail once. आप किसी क्लास 3 के बच्चे को फोटोसिंथेसिस का वन शॉट देके नहीं समझा पाओगे कि like how does a plant synthesize its own food. You first have to explain to them in whole detail for an entire week or 2 weeks, then one shot would come to rescue, not before that. So that's why I'm constantly telling you, do not take stress. Oh my god, these syllabus looks so out of our league. Yes, it is out of your league, and I don't know why they set it at this level, because especially general CSC, DBMS you're getting for the first time in 3rd semester. General CSE usually gets DBMS also in the 4th semester. So it's really difficult for general CSE students especially to crack these type of questions. But don't you worry, weightage is also given accordingly. Computer networks, a subject which even I haven't gotten till now, now that I am on my way to third year. So I myself can't make any comments on this. But वही कि जैसे TCP का full form पता है. So IP, then all this. So for computer networks, operating system and DBMS, if possible, give proper chat GPT prompts and get some good notes out of it. And that's it. Do not take stress. Then we have OOPS concepts. So OOPS, finally something you know. Second semester unit 1, basic data structures using C++. OOPS में क्या है? Class and object, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism and abstraction. Software engineering, another subject of third year. SDLC models. Now what is SDLC? It means software development life cycle. ओके मतलब आपको कोई सॉफ्टवेयर अगर बनानी हो तो उसके सर्टेन स्टेप्स होते हैं और उन मॉडल्स के अलग अलग नाम हैं. अब यू कैन जस्ट रीड दिस लाइक अ स्टोरी. अजाइल, देन टेस्टिंग टाइप्स एटसेट्रा. ओके, like software engineering is a very theory concept. Okay, इनकी I can get you a good idea. आप कोर्सेरा पे अपने CUCHD वाले मेल आईडी से लॉगिन कीजिए. उधर आपको सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग, देन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम्स, इन पे अच्छे कोर्सेज मिल जाएंगे. यू कैन डू दोज कोर्सेज. Okay, instead of doing one shots to understand, because Coursera gives you hands-on learning. And okay, and this is good also because ultimately you can use it later on. The certificates you get, those are good for your LinkedIn also. You can add to your LinkedIn because those are powered by IBM. Up next you have CN plus OS commands. Now commands अब क्या ही है? It's like just a moment. Mm. Okay, I can't share my screen right now. Anyways, so otherwise I could show how these work. But in third semester, those of you will have operating system, you will do all these practicals also. Okay. So मैं just इतना ही कहूँगा कि जिन्हें operating system मिलेगा, be thorough with the subject right from your day one. Make it your A1 since day one. Okay. Now let's see this computer science thing and why I was telling ki don't take so much tension, because if you remember heading of this entire structure, 20 questions may attempt minimum is 8. 12 questions you can skip. Okay, I told you na, the system thinks about you also. Even they know ki by just a second semester pass out cannot know about everything, DBMS, OS, etc. Okay, so minimum 8 you have to attempt out of 20. ओके एंड पॉसिबली डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड ऊप्स मिला के आपके 8 कवर हो जाएंगे. एंड इवन व्हाट्स द सेकंड टॉपिक? एल्गोरिथम्स, राइट? एल्गोरिथम्स आल्सो यू नो. So data structures, algorithms, plus that will cover 8 out of 20. Okay, so don't you worry. So then we have few sample questions. Just a moment. Which data structure uses leaf order stack? What's the time complexity of binary search O of login? Which ensures there are no duplicates. Now this is a now sequel का यही एक advantage है कि this is basic English. Now what do you think? Distinct का मतलब क्या है? Distinct का मतलब ही है something unique. So no duplicate का मतलब ही होगा distinct. So even sometimes good knowledge of vocabulary or English helps you in acing DBMS. Then in OS, which of these is a non-preemptive scheduling algorithm? So that you haven't gotten till now, so I won't expect you to answer. What layer of the OSI model? Keyword, this. Which keyword is used to derive a class from another in C++? Public. What is the role of foreign key? You won't know. Which sorting algorithm has a worst case complexity of O n log n? Merge sort, bubble sort, selection sort, or insertion sort? Merge sort. Which of the following is used for deadlock avoidance? You won't know. That's an operating system question. Which command shows the current working directory? PWD. Which data structure is best for implementing recursion? Stack. Which protocol provides reliable data transfer? TCP, Transfer Control Protocol. What asset property isolation ensure? In which SDLC model, and what is the subnet mask? So look, I know it's a bit tricky this particular section, but don't you worry, guys. Like, yes, you all are very tensed about AMCAT. I know you all want to do very well, and trust me, you all will get into TPP also, because even if you don't get into Cargill, you will get TPP, and even TPP students get a good amount of training for placements. So it's not like if you don't ace in DBMS OS, everything you will fail. Nothing like that. Those are very small parts. Okay. Like there are literally so many other things you can do good at. Share this tab instead. So today we have covered week 2, that is programming, automata fix, and computer science. So English, quant, and logical was done in week 1. Today we did programming, automata fix, and computer science. 6 sections done. What we have left? We have automata it for our third week, and for our fourth week we have write text and personality. That is, out of 9 topics we're done with 6. Now just 2 more left. Okay. So I'll try doing one thing. If possible, I'll club these two together कि personality भी मैं automata के साथ लेते आता हूँ, and PYQs I'll do in week 4 with mock tests and everything. Okay. So that way we can finish the syllabus by week 3 only. And in that way, I guess week 3's video I'll be uploading by day after tomorrow, so that you all are well prepared with AMCAT's syllabus. Okay. Now, there are many, bizarre kind of things coming up. Ki they are copying your content, they are telling you are copying their content and all, but I just don't care. Okay. Whoever copies whoever's content, let them impose a strike on me, whatever. I know these are my original content, and मैं इधर ढिंडोरा पीटने नहीं आया कि ये मेरा कंटेंट है, वो कुछ भी करे, मुझे लिटरली कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. All I want is you all do well. Since childhood, I wanted to become a teacher, a guide. Okay. So I want ki whoever I am teaching, may they learn well from me. Whatever doubts they have, may they clarify it from me. Then these communities and all, they are just platforms. I just hope I can make judicious use of them to reach them out, like reach out to you all, and clarify certain things which were unclear to me as a first year student who was moving freshly to second year. Okay. So I just wish you all a good day ahead, and as you prepare well, also enjoy your vacations well, because ultimately these videos you can watch in your hostel also or your flat also when your vacations end, but the time you're getting with your family now is something which won't come back later. So do what your heart and mind both say. Okay. So chalo, have a nice day, goodbye, see you in the third week's video.